Our next championship case is for the 2014 champion, Kevin Harvick. Harvick, of course, was actually more than 90 points out of the playoffs entering the Michigan race. He won 2 straight races, one at Michigan, of course, and then at Richmond to lock himself into the NASCAR playoffs. He currently is 8th in the regular season standings, and I think that's about all he can get. He can't get any further unless Christopher Bell crashes out early, really. He's about 50 points behind there. As I said, the 2 wins. He has 7 top 5s, 13 top 10s, and he has led 106 laps this season. So not your typical Kevin Harvick season. He hasn't led a ton of laps. He hasn't dominated a ton of races. He has won a couple of races, yes, but, you know, it has not been your standard Kevin Harvick season. He has not won any stages either. I forgot to mention that. But, yes, this is going to be the championship case for Kevin Harvick, how he can do it. So, yeah, as I said, not as Kevin Harvick of a year as we have usually seen in the past with, you know, multiple wins, dominating fashion, multiple stage wins, tons of top 10s and top 5s, consistently competing for the win. It's only been the past few weeks that he's really been competing for the win. You know, we saw him run top 5, I think it was, in New Hampshire, the Michigan win, the Richmond win. Richmond earlier in the season, he finished runner-up. So, yeah, let's look at this playoff schedule thingy. Talk about it. So, yeah, the first 3 races, Darlington, Kansas, and Bristol. So, yeah, Harvick and his 13 playoff points, that's going to be point number 1. He has to get playoff points just like everyone else. Does not have a big gap on the cutoff line right now. Everyone has like 6 or 7 playoff points right now, so he's going to have to extend that gap as much as he can, whether that's winning races, winning stages, whatever it may be. He has to get as many as he can. This first round I'm not too concerned about. He's won multiple times at Darlington. He's won multiple times at Kansas. He's won multiple times at Bristol. Should have won the Bristol race last year, but unfortunately got into it with Chase Elliott, and Larson got by him. Won it in 2020, so the Bristol night race has been really good to Kevin Harvick the last few years. So I think he could very well be in contention for a win there, but as I said, this first round I'm not too concerned about. Darlington's always been a great track for him, Bristol as well, and then Kansas in there. I think he should do just fine, despite the Fords and SHR not doing too great on the intermediate tracks this year, except for Michigan, of course. So that first round, he should be safe, I think. Second round is Texas Talladega in the Charlotte Roval. This is where I'm concerned for Kevin Harvick. Texas, since the repave, has been great for Kevin Harvick. He won 3 straight fall races there, 2017, 2018, 2019. He's led tons of laps there, won tons of stages, won races, as I said. So Texas is actually a very good track for Kevin Harvick, especially since the repave back in between the 2016 and 2017 season. So that's actually a good thing for Kevin Harvick. Obviously, you know, this year there was only the All-Star race, so it's kind of hard to judge based off that just because of the different format and stuff. Very difficult to pass, so if Harvick gets stuck in like 13th, it's going to be difficult to move up unless he just has like a way better car than everyone else. So if they can bring a competitive car, get track position, I think they could actually do pretty good there. But you never know. And also Ford did win the All-Star race in May with Ryan Blaney. You know, all the Team Penske cars were up there as well. So yeah, it's interesting to see Texas right there, especially since there has not been one full 500-mile race there since the next-gen car. So it should be interesting to see for everyone, but to see how Kevin Harvick does as well. Talladega in the Roval. I am concerned about this round for Kevin Harvick. He has not been the greatest super speedway racer. He has had pretty bad luck as of recently, and the road courses have been not great for Kevin Harvick. Last year, of course, you'll remember in the Charlotte Roval, Harvick drove it straight into the fence when he got intimidated by Chase Elliott. So, yeah, hopefully he doesn't get into it with anyone again, and that won't happen. But it's tough to say that he'll get past here, but since we're making a championship case, we're going to discuss a realistic possibility of how he's going to get through. Texas, maybe he gets a top 5, runs really well in that race. Talladega, survive. Hope that guys crash out even if they get stage points, and, you know, hopefully some of those guys are below the cutoff line. And then at the Roval, get stage points and hope that no one below the cutoff line wins. You know, like if Daniel Suarez was below the cutoff line and he were to go win the Roval, that's not what you want because you would be really close. As I said, the playoff points for Harvick is not great right now. He does not have a big gap, so he is going to need some help on the playoff side of things, the playoff point side of things. And yeah, so he will need some help there. But so that second round, it's going to be difficult for him. But I think if he can run top 5 Texas, survive Talladega, and then just the Roval, hope that no one below the cutoff line wins, then maybe he could get through. So yeah, in this situation, he gets through. Round of 8, Vegas, Homestead, Martinsville. Vegas has been a good track to Harvick historically. He has a few wins there. I think he won there most recently in 2018. Of course, he has a win at Homestead Miami Speedway. He won his championship there in 2014, but that was back when they were Chevy. He has run well there before, of course, when he's made championship fours in other years, 2018, 2019. So, you know, he has run well at Homestead Miami in the past. And then Martinsville's honestly, surprisingly, one of his not greatest tracks. He only has 1 win there over his long career, which is very surprising. But Ford has been much better on the short tracks this year than they have been on the intermediates, road courses, everything else. So I would say that Martinsville is actually a pretty good shot for him. He's going to be below the cutoff line entering this round, most likely. You know, you're going to have guys like Chase Elliott, Kyle Larson, maybe Joey Logano, some of those guys that are going to have more playoff points than Harvick. So if he doesn't build them up in those first 2 rounds, you know, if he doesn't win at Bristol, if he doesn't win at Texas or something, then he's going to be below the cutoff line, and it's going to be a little bit of a challenge, an uphill challenge. So he's going to need some help there for sure. Martinsville, could he get it done? I could see it maybe, but you know, I'd say it's between that and Vegas as his best shots to win and get into the championship 4. As I said, you know, they haven't been great on the intermediate tracks this year, but if they could potentially, you know, put something together like they did at Michigan, where, yeah, they're not the fastest car, but they're top 6, top 7 speed, and if they get the track position, they get up front, then they can run away. They can win. The clean air and, you know, Harvick's experience behind the wheel, Rodney Childers, his mind behind the pit box. I think that experience and that relationship right there is a huge advantage to Kevin Harvick. You know, being with the crew chief for, what, 8 years now, 9 years now, and knowing him so well and being so successful with each other, I think that's a huge advantage. Plus, Harvick, you know, he knows how to win in clutch situations. 2014 Phoenix, he had to win and he won. 2014 Homestead, he had to win and he won. 2015 Dover, he had to win and he won. This year at Michigan, he had to win and he won. So Kevin Harvick, when he is in must-win situations, he does know how to get it done. He's shown us multiple times in the past. I would not be surprised if he did it again. So Martinsville and Vegas are his best shots, but I think it very well could come down to a must-win in the round of 8. I would say those 2 are his best shots. Even though he has not been great historically at Martinsville, it just seems like Ford has been better at the short tracks this year. Then let's say he does get to Phoenix, and this is the best case scenario for Kevin Harvick. Harvick is obviously the king of Phoenix. He has 9 wins there. He has been one of the best drivers there. He is probably the best driver there of all time at Phoenix, so that is very much in his favor. The fact that he is one of the best drivers at Phoenix. Something about that track just suits him very well. You know, it doesn't matter what they've done to the track in the past. It seems like he just knows how to win. So, and of course, something else that helps is that his teammate Chase Briscoe won at Phoenix in the spring. So Stewart-Haas Racing is the most recent team to have won at Phoenix. Harvick has the history at Phoenix. So I could very well see if Kevin Harvick makes it to the championship 4, he very well could be the favorite just due to his history at Phoenix. So yeah, ever since the championship 4 has been at Phoenix, surprisingly, Kevin Harvick has not made it. And, you know, you'd think that would be a big advantage to him. But if he can get to that championship 4, I think he would have to be a favorite just because of the history he has at Phoenix. So, yeah, to wrap this up, obviously the playoff points are very important, as I said. First round, he should be good. Second round, a little concerning. You got to avoid the chaos at Talladega. Hope you do well at Texas and enough at the Roval. Third round's a little bit more of a concern, the lack of playoff points. You know, the fact that Ford has not been as strong in the intermediates. You might have to win at Martinsville or, you know, even win at the playoff opener or the round opener at Vegas. And as for Phoenix, he very well, if he makes it there, could be actually the favorite just because of his really good history at Phoenix. So, yeah, tomorrow is Denny Hamlin, I think. I could be wrong, but we'll do that championship case tomorrow. Any news that pops up, maybe. I'm going to be on the road Then Saturday, we got the race. I'll do another championship case that morning. Sunday, we got a F1 race for the first time in a month, so that'll be fun. Then, yeah, other than that, I got nothing. So, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Talk to you later.